Aroma so fragrant but fruity.
So sweet.
That's love, joy and peace and kindness and patience. The lover of your all of my life, so patent. 2 hours in the spirit, then it's curtains.
Yo, episode 2 of Storytime Sundays. So I want to say thank you guys so much for watching the first episode. I was talking about my stalker, and let me tell you guys, I don't wish that upon anybody. Please, if you got a stalker, like I said in my video, please talk to somebody, report it. If it even has to go as far as the police, please go and do your thing. But anyway, we're on to episode 2, and I'm going to talk about how I was the face of TfL in 2009. And it was definitely an opportunity of a lifetime, because that never would happen again, honestly. So I remember now, so obviously I'm going to go into the story now. Woo! It's Saturday school now, and it's the 14th of February, and I hate education. I don't want to be here, so I managed to devise a plan to speak to the people that are coordinating the Saturday school to leave, which I managed to do. And I remember I walked down and it was a Primark, and at the time, I might get this up on the screen, I might have to find the exact one, but there was these trench coats that were £15, and these were popping in school. Because in my school, we were only allowed to wear black jackets. And I remember this jacket was in fashion. But remember the date, 14th of February. It is cold. And those jackets, the layers are thin. Why am I wearing a thin jacket in February? It's cold. And I'm in the UK. But that's what we do for fashion, right? Very silly. Anyway, so I take the bus down to my dad's shop. So my dad's shop, for context, he had computers, had an internet cafe. So when I'm there, all I want to do is play games, because that's all I care about, is just playing games. I get to my dad's shop. He says, why am I here this early? I said, I think I made up some excuse like, we got extra work to do or some jazz like that. And my dad's like, okay, cool. So I'm now playing games, whatnot. Then my dad says, you need to go home, because my dad's shop to my house was not far, so he said he needs to go home, get something for your mum. And I'm like, ugh. So cool. So I go down a road that I don't usually go down when I go home, and I remember across the road, I remember just looking across the road, and I was like, wait, what's going on there? There's loads of snacks on the road. I said, cool. When I go home, I'm gonna go back that way and I'm gonna see what's going on. So obviously I go home, do what I have to do for my mum. And then as I'm going back the different route to go back to my dad's shop, these two people from the photography agency stopped me, and they said, oh, because I was wearing the trench jacket, they were saying, oh, you know, you look great. We think you could be a model for this, blah, 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 blah. It's for TfL. What do you think? And I said, no, because I think a lot of people don't understand. Yeah, I may show that I'm confident in videos, but in real life, I'm a very shy person. So I was like, nah. Then they said, because I remember, I think I was trying to walk away, and then they said money, and I said, oh, you got me now, money. Cool. So now I'm like, so we did the thing, we done the shoot, you know, I'm lying on the floor, they take the pictures, I'm talking to the woman, I think she's from America, the model that was on me, and you know, we now go to my dad's shop, then we do all the paperwork, and they're talking to my dad about what's going to happen, where it's going to be and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't really understand anything that's going on. All I knew was that my dad, out of that money, gave me £50. He told me he got paid £150. I don't know to this day if that's true, because I know that they pay way more. Obviously, I've been in the game for a while now, so I know that they could pay a lot more than that. So I'm thinking, how much did my dad really get? Anyway, you know what's so funny? After they left my dad's shop, I went back to my computer to play games. Like, it was almost as if nothing happened. It's actually so crazy, because I have never been exposed to anything like that. I've never done anything like that in my life, where I'm lying on the floor, I'm getting professional pictures done, and I did not know this was going to be all over London. I'm completely oblivious to it. Cool. So what happened now? So I remember now it's end of March, and obviously we're approaching Easter, and I remember I think I left school maybe 10-15 minutes after they obviously rang the bell, and I will never forget, my boy was like, yo, Femi. I was like, yo, like, brother, look at, come. And I was like, what? So now I cross the road, and there's a phone box actually outside of my school on the other side of the road. I walk to the side, and I'm like, whoa. Like, I looked at my picture and I said, look at how they made me. I was shocked. Like, I was genuinely shocked how they done my poster. I said, oh My goodness. You have to understand, yeah, I did not look anything like that picture. Do you know what I mean? So I was genuinely shocked. And I just remember going to Oxford Circus. I'm seeing my poster everywhere. I'm going to Brixton, my poster is everywhere. I'm going to different parts of London, my poster is there with the two other people that have also done it. There was this white girl and this other black guy that also done it. And I'm like, wow, this is insane. I did not realize how big this was. I think Tinchy Strider and Wretch Free 2 are also part of that campaign. And then I remember my school put it in their school newsletter, and I just was like, wow, I was completely blown away. And so you can tell that certain people were treating me a little bit differently, because it was like, whoa, this is the boy. I think people calling me like poster boy, because they were like, yo, this guy's on the poster, he's all over London, and you know, he looks like this, cool. But the thing is, this is where the story kind of starts to take a little turn. What ends up happening is, in my own area, I don't know who it is, even to this day I don't know who it is, but that poster in my own area was ripped down about 5-6 times. So I remember it was on 2 phone boxes in my area, and those 2 phone boxes ripped down. And I know it was always done in the evening, because where my dad's shop is not far from my secondary school. So even during that time, no one was stupid enough to do that during the day, because people would clock, do you know what I mean? And even though when I was in that area, I didn't see that happen. So I knew it was always done in the night. Every time my face was always ripped. It was ripped. And then when they now changed it to a completely different ad, that poster was there. There was no problem. No one took it down. And I was like, damn, people really don't like me in this area. That poster has now allowed me to work in the filming industry. And then I'm gonna now talk in the next episode as to why people were ripping down my poster in the area. I remember now in 2011, what happened is the person who had taken my pictures, they had actually reached out to my grandma, because my grandma was the emergency contact in case they couldn't get through to my dad. And my grandma was like, oh, these people that took pictures for you, they're trying to hit you up. And I was like, cool. So I got the number, I'm speaking to them. And the lady said, you know, your picture, it went everywhere. It was viral, it was going crazy. And the publications wanted to do more of it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And she said, I know this person who's starting up an agency, and we would like to maybe put you forward if you're interested in that sort of thing. And mind you, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what to say, but I said, you know what, let me just see what this is saying, let me try it out. So I did, and the first thing I did was Misfits. I was just a stunt double. And let me tell you, that whole experience was insane, because a big camera literally is so massive that's literally focusing on you, and you've got about 5 people that are watching these screens to basically look at what you're doing. And even if, let's say, there was a bit of, not stain, but maybe there was like a mark or something, continuity will come running, they'll clean it off, and then when they say rolling camera, rolling, and they'll be like, and action. And then when they do their thing, you do your thing, you do what you're told to do. Then when it says cut, continuity brushes in, and they'll literally fix your top exactly the way they want it, so that is obviously continuous, so it doesn't look too off. Because you know, in movies, you know, when maybe they've got their hair looking neat here, and then in the next shot the hair's looking rough, that means continuity hasn't been doing their job. So that's basically what the role of continuity is. So it was very, very scary. I mean, I had one of the directors pick me up from the station. I remember they showed me the script. I was speaking with some of the main actors. There was a lot of waiting around. The crew and the actors, everybody was lovely. Long days, and I was like, wow, this is how it is in the acting world. And then from there I did a movie called All Stars. Not a great movie, honestly, but I met people from different agencies, and then they were telling me about other agencies, and I joined them and I did other work with them. And you know, I managed to do McDonald's, and there's going to be a link, or I don't know if I'm going to put it in the corner. Where's the arrow? The arrow somewhere, I don't know where I'm going to put it, but where I'm going to have literally all of the work that I've recorded that I can find. There's so much I've done that I don't even know where to find it. There might be little parts, there might be just small scenes or whatnot, but it's all going to be there, all because of that one poster that I did that was not far from where I live. That was the sort of opportunity that I took, and look where it led me. Do you know what I mean? If I'd said no to that lady, would I have ever known about the world of acting? Probably not. Honestly, I probably would have never known about it, but I'm so grateful that I took that. And I think the biggest lesson I want everybody to take from this is that opportunities like that don't always come, and when they do, take them. Obviously think about them, but most of the time, the worst that can happen is that you don't make it, but at least you don't regret saying, you know what, I wish I did it. Because imagine if I had said no again when they were offering me money again, would I even be sitting in front of this camera talking to you guys about, you know, my life experience? This wouldn't have never existed, possibly. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show you that if you don't take things in life, you know what I mean, they might just be passed on to somebody else. That's how life is, that I've noticed. It just gets passed on. So learn to take things. Don't always overthink them. Just be like, you know what, throw me in the deep end and let me learn. Obviously, with some things, you need to make sure that you need to plan, at least to an extent, because you can't be, you can't be thrown at the deep end and you're a doctor, you don't know what's going on. You don't even know where to start, you know what I mean? You need to know about the person's history, you know, what they're allergic to and all that stuff, do you know what I mean? So it doesn't always work for every situation. So use your mind, think about these things and go for it. I really hope I'm speaking sense, because I felt like I just through a lot of posh English and I just made it sound good. Oh my god, I really hope I'm making so much sense when I speak in these videos, you know, because, you know, you could be talking so much and then you're just thinking, when you look in the edit, you're like, I was talking jazz. Kai. Anyway, guys, that's it for episode 2. If you want me to speak more about what I've done on set, actually, you know what? That might be episode 3, actually. I'm going to be talking about my best experience. I'm going to be talking about my worst experience. If you're interested in kind of seeing if acting is for you, there's avenues that I'm going to recommend, and this is going to be more based in the UK. I'm sure the equivalents outside of the UK, they should have some relevancy somewhere else. If I can find it, I would post it definitely in the description, but I think that's going to be my episode 3. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 2. This has been your boy Fumizi.
It's the same thing. The word make your flame shrink. Cause there's light in the word, and the light that's fire, that's how the chain link. What shall I render, Lord? Your mercy so tender, and your grace so great. I will spray back to sender. Sin never sly and so slender. She'll suck you in and set you up if you ever try friend her. I'll put a ring on light.